What it do, people? It's not a problem. Let me let y'all a little secret before we get started. We're going to keep the little vibe going. I'm not going to jack Kevin Samuel's swag. But I thought he was saying, sit the fuck down. He's saying, susceptible now. I was like, oh, shit. That's crazy, crazy. Shit crazy. Y'all know how I do my show. Y'all know how I started off. Yes. Yes, 2 times. I know the vibes, though. She like, ooh la la. We go, ooh la la. That's right, ooh la la. Like, that energy, that feel in the wind. Ooh la la. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. HaPPy TV. That's my show. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is, where you been? Over here on this side, we deal with sports, hip hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes, Poppavisms 101, and motivation. So if that sound like something you can rock with, then before you diddy your ass to the left and hit stage left, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, smash that notification bell, so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos. And if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel since the beginning, good looking. But you know how I do. You know how I like to start my show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the game now. We in the end game. And we in the end game, people. Hold on one quick sec. Let me just fix that real quick. Yeah, that's a little better. We in the end game because it's playoffs. Don't talk to me about playoffs. I just hope we can win a game. Playoffs is shaping up pretty nicely. I'm just going to give a little smidget of this because I ain't got as much time as I had yesterday. So, game 4 tonight, Dallas Mavericks did tie the game up, or tie the series up. It's 2-2 now. And after the game, a fan, looked like a young fan, apparently, maybe kind of, sort of, I didn't see the footage of that. I just see the footage of Chris Paul looking real mad, like, yeah, I'm going to see you. I'm going to see you. And it looked like a fan pushed Chris Paul's mom's and his son. You know what I mean? One of his kids. And his wife was there. Obviously, it is Mother's Day. So if you jumped in and you see the title, I'm not going to talk crazy on Mother's Day. I just don't celebrate. So, you know what I mean? That's just what it is. It's my belief. I don't celebrate. You know what I mean? But shout outs to all the mothers that do celebrate. Shout outs to all of the men that celebrate Mother's Day, if that's your thing. You know what I mean? Y'all know on the channel, I don't celebrate no holidays. None of that shit. But anyway, it's Mother's Day, right? So I'm sure they're there to, you know, watch the game, you know, enjoy the festivities, probably go out to eat and do, you know, whatever they're going to do. And fans been getting real, dare I say, bold, like the unmitigated gall of some of these fans and the audacity. Like, you here to see, you know, professionals put on the way you want to see them put on. It's the playoffs. You know what I mean? I did a song called The Playoffs. Major Balls in the Spot, we in the playoffs. Stay getting that guap, we in the playoffs. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Go check it out. And featuring Gray Fire. Shout out to my nigga Gray. To see this type of stuff going on with the fan throwing a water bottle, even, dare I say, in New York, my city, you know what I mean? New York stand up. It's New York in the house. It's Brooklyn, yeah. New York stand up. What's up, baby? Shout out to everybody that's tuning in on a Sunday night. You could be anywhere in the world, but, you know, you tuned into me. I appreciate that. Fans spitting on Trae Young, as cold as ice. And a lot of other stuff, you know what I mean? We see, obviously, you know, Ron Artest at the Palace when they went up in the stands, like, nah, we're not having none of that. Remember, people, these people, this is what it reminds me of. I guess slightly, maybe kind of, sort of, when you in the car, right, and myself included, because we've seen in the past few years, people in vehicles, they don't got to be drunk and not, in their right mind to kill you. They could purposely try to kill you, use their vehicle as a weapon, and we even seen cops do it during the Black Lives Matter, which we're going to get to in a little minute. Hitting people, and it is what it is. These athletes are bigger, faster, and stronger than you, and you think you're just gonna spit on people, throw water on people, talk crazy, and say all type of wild shit, and they'll be outside of not the locker room, but outside of the game, maybe, you know what I mean, and waiting for you, like Carmelo Anthony was waiting for Kevin Garnett. Anything's possible, like anything's possible. You're gonna fuck around and catch the right one, and you look like a little. You don't want to judge off rip like how a person is just from their demeanor. But when they was ushering him out, you could see he was telling his mom something, or whoever the lady was that was with him. It's like parents. Just was talking about this shit yesterday on yesterday's video. I was about to say go see the other video, but this shit is just out of line. But real quick though, series is tied up. This is my oh shit. When you live action, I'm about to spill shit. This was my board right here. I still got the Suns in Milwaukee going to the finals. Right now, Miami is tied up. Joel Embiid is back. He looking good. Harden dropped 31 tonight. Milwaukee is up 2-1, I believe. Yeah, 2-1. And the East is in the house. John Morant, he got hurt yesterday. Looked like it was a dirty play, but then it wasn't. But he did reach for his knee. So it's like, what you doing, Jordan Poole? And a lot of these series is tight now. Golden State is up 2-1. Suns is tied. Miami is tied with Philly, and Milwaukee is up 2-1. So that's that with the NBA. You know what I mean? I don't know who's tuning in right now, but when we see shit, like when women is throwing sex on us and telling us to hit these sex sites and shit. That should be mad funny, even still seeing it. People don't be jumping in the DMs like that on us. You know what I mean? Too much. But let's get to some other shit though. Let's get to the Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean? I'm not going to back down off of my stance yet with Milwaukee, because Chris Middleton did get hurt. But let's talk about Black Lives Matter now, or let's talk about, you know what I mean, when people roll up on you, and this ain't really a roll up. Like people are playing with it, and I seen the footage like a lot of y'all with Candace Owens, who in her own right has been, I say she got dragged a lot or a few times, so she know what it's like to, when an angry mob is coming for you. She definitely know what that life is like, and I believe she got thick skin. She's part of the diverse community, or it's a lot of words and different terminologies now. In fact, I seen something online today. This is why we living in the end game. And, for people that's new to my channel and you just coming in or you never seen me before, and, you look and you see the Marvel, and I plainly start my show like, Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game. Like, we really are in the end game for a lot of reasons, And that's why I normally start off the show with an indication of why we in the last days. In my opinion, and in God's time, it's not like our time. So 1,000 years, they say, is one day, you know what I mean? Allegedly, like for God. So just think about it in that terms. So we still can have another 1,000, 2,000 years, but that's still a short time, you know what I mean? But anyway, we in the end game because I seen something online today, and then I'll get back to Candace, where it was saying instead of calling people pedophiles, people that like little children, and I also spoke about children yesterday, how they doing that TikTok challenge and they dancing to the song and shit. It's he's part of the community, the alphabet community, the guy that I seen, and I can't remember which channel I seen it was. I was showed up, but he pretty much like it's a term called MAP, M-A-P, and it just stands for. Then what the fuck it stands for again? Mature. Pretty much they trying to say like pedophile is a bad word, and when you think of pedophile, you normally think of somebody that actually did something to a child. But he like in this case, it's just adults being attracted to children. It was some wild, weird, weirdo shit, and he looked like a weirdo. You know what I mean? feminine, but he was a man, and he just had the glasses on, had like one of them happy days, like hairstyles, like Monday, Sunday, happy days, like with the fawns and shit. And I'm being funny, but I'm not. He really looked like he was from the 60s, you know what I mean? Some shit like that. And I'm really trying to follow where he was going, and I'm saying, damn, because he was like, all, adults that like kids are not pedophiles because they haven't been convicted. It was like some real wild, weird, what dimension are we in? And I only bring that up to say it's a lot of names and shit out there, and one of them is, I guess, diversing, meaning like if you, but you black, if you're a black individual, but you choose to, date outside your race or get married outside your race. And I got that in my family as well. Like I'm sure a lot of y'all, this ain't nothing new no more. Like, before, I don't know, I'm not going to say, I don't look at people strange when I see like, a zebra couple, let's just say the Jeffersons, you know what I mean, Tom and Helen, you know what I mean? I guess at one point in time, obviously people would look, depending on what neighborhood you're in. You think of Bronx Tale when Cologio was walking with Keisha from Belly, and then they started chasing him down because he was with a black chick or whatever. But the point being, I'm sure her skin is thick, you know what I mean, from being married to a white individual, not always saying what people want to hear. Something like Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. Marathon continues, you know what I mean, all the haters out there. So she knows what it's like. But what she decided to do was pull up in the Benz, like skirt, skirt, to this chick house. You know what I mean? Out there in California or whatever, Hollywood, wherever the fuck she's at. Obviously, there's no blacks live out there. And then Patrice went and got online. Like I said, y'all probably familiar with it now. Kind of like crocodile tears. And I give her credit. It wasn't like Megan Good, because we seen Megan Good she's not an actor, and if she's trying to be an actor, she's not a very good actor yet. So she couldn't cry on cue. You know, some people got to cry on cue. If you're in porn, you got to be able to skeet off on cue, which is hard, you know what I mean? You got people standing around, microphones, and regular people in there watching, because it's a production. It's not how it looks when you're watching it. You know what I mean? Side note, Scorpios be the best. Just being funny, but I'm not. She couldn't cry on cue, so a lot of people was clowning her for that. One, a lot of people don't believe her, and they think she's trying to spin the narrative on Tory Lanez. But Patrice, she did have some tears, to her credit. But it was like, I need y'all to stay vigilant, and, this could be very dangerous, but in her words, this is very unacceptable. This is very unacceptable. If you don't know what I'm talking about, even though I can't see how you don't know what I'm talking about, but I do got a picture. I ain't really got no videos, you know what I mean? But this is her right here. That's her right here. You know what I mean? That's her, and that's Candace Owens on the other side. So she pulled up to her house. I mean, I said pull up in the Benz like it was beef. But she really just pulled up. I guess she's doing a documentary or whatever she's doing. Like a lot of people are wondering, kind of, where's the money at? Like, where's Show Me the Money? Because that's your money, son. Like, show me the money. Jerry Maguire, where's all that Black Lives Matter money? And my own humble opinion, for what it's worth, and probably don't really mean too much of nothing, is I think they did do something with the money. And I would like to know where that $90 million went, or some of it. Should you get paid for doing some of the people's work? Absolutely. Can I prove that they did anything wrong with the money? Of course I can. But I just think a lot of people want transparency, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Especially when when you jock for these positions. And I spoke about this when it came to the Mr. Benjamin, can't think of his first name, but the black politician from Harlem, like Harlem Stand Up, you know what I mean? Double Up, Harlem World. Supposed to have took some money or allocated some money into some investment / real estate in Harlem. And in that video, if you didn't catch it, a lot of y'all still going to have to catch up. And we're going to keep working. I said pretty much like, you got to always, in my opinion, look at people with the side eye till they show their true colors, or you got to watch them. Not like you want them to prove you right and do some scumbag shit. When these people running for position of power, you got to always watch somebody that wants power. Like for me, myself, obviously I got to check it past, but let's just say that I didn't. I still went and run for like certain positions. Not that I don't think that I would be qualified or I can make, life altering decisions, because sometimes lives is on the line. And just like Jack Nichols and Few Good Men. And he like, you need people like me on that wall. You want people like me on that wall because I'm gonna make the tough calls. And then when Tom Cruise, Tom Cruise, when he like, I want the truth. And one of the iconic parts of that movie is when he was like, you can't handle the truth. Like, you know what I mean? You need people that's not gonna be emotional or sway and make choices in these delicate positions. Position the war when it comes to evacuation, getting food, and allocating resources to people and things of that nature. You know what I mean? What part of the community needs more priority first over others? We say homelessness or security and food, and women and children and shit like that. When you watch these people run for these positions, and they jocking to get in the front lines, like, yeah, we the leader of the movements. Wonder Twins deactivate. Then they do some fuck shit and you find out they corrupt. You say, damn, who wants to be the leader of the free world? Barack Obama, Trump. That's why when you see his interview when he said it years ago before he ran, before The Simpsons, and he's like, yeah, I want to be the president, or if I ran for president, I would run as a Republican because they're some dumbasses. They're stupid, or something to that effect. You say, damn, why do they want to run? They want to run because once you get the Infinity Stones, like, Tony, there was no other way. You can choose to snap your finger and snap half the existence away, or you can do good. When you look at the What If series, and y'all know I'm marveled out. That's how I pass time sometimes. In the Marvel series, What If, in one of the first episodes, instead of Quill from the Guardians of the Galaxy, instead of him getting snatched, they snatched T'Challa. The Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And instead of Thanos coming, and snapping half of the universe away, he ran into him and he showed him a better way on how they could grow more food and do things differently so that you don't got to take half the population away. So my point in saying all this is like Patricia, McCullins or whatever her last name is, Cullies, you asked for this. You chose to run, organize, and be on the front lines of a whole movement, Black Lives Matter, at a time where, uncertainty, and George Floyd and Tamir Rice and so many, others, Brown, getting killed and, unfortunately getting done dirty by the people that's supposed to be here to protect us. And then you in the mansion and you sipping Mai Tais and you drinking champagnes on, I think last year on George Floyd anniversary, et cetera, et cetera. And the people sitting back, we watching, it doesn't look good. It creates a bad optic. You look bad. And my thing is, like Hall said, I'm surprised your advisors ain't forewarn you. Please, not Jay. He's not for play. Like, all that yapping, and I will end it. And the thing is, nobody's telling you that in your camp that's a bad look for y'all to be sitting there sipping champagne in your mansion. And you got people like Papoose, that came out, people like him, and I'm bringing him up because he's more, visual as far as the name. You can identify who I'm talking about. But it was a lot of people who had his stance, like, nah, they working for the people. They supposed to have mansions. I'm not mad at her, and I'm not mad either. Not because I'm not living in a mansion, but you don't got to get a mansion. And then it's like LeBron, not one, not two, like you 3 and 4, 5 mansions just to working. It doesn't look good. But the thing is this too. You got online, you started boo-hooing, and people is clowning her because she's like, it's unacceptable. And what if these right pundits, what if they keep coming back? And what if one got a weapon next time? And what if one, gets violent? And then Candace Parker, obviously, she responded. And you could go Google the video. She was sitting in her car right outside the house. I guess, instead of calling the cops, because you can't call the cops, that probably will look bad. That if you call the cops on another black woman, and if you just, want some celebrity deathmatch shit, Patrice might could take her. Candace might look like a little pit bull, and I don't mean that being funny. She got a lot of spirit and fight in her, I'm sure. But physical-wise, she might get her ass whipped. So you can't be scared. She like, we came with cameras. We came, we ain't pull up on you with the ninja suits on and super ninjas. And as soon as when you hit the thing, now you don't hear no sound and we just roll up on you and, and snuff you out. They came, knocked on your door. She's whatever. She said we didn't even get over the fence and none of that. And I'm sure she got cameras. And who's that peeking out my window? Wow, the feds on me now. You look bad going online. Now you didn't call the cops, so you can't feel threatened. And then it's little Kansas Owens. Like, you scared of her? All you gotta do is answer the questions. Now I get it. This is where I want to get to, because some people too is like, all right, this is why I say on this channel, HaPPy TV, when I look directly into the camera and I say full transparency, that's number one. And then number two, if you came over here, you might get a little jokey joke and get a laugh, but you're never gonna see me outside flipping hamburgers on the Brooklyn Bridge. You're never gonna see me in some Missy outfit like I can't stand the rain and setting myself on fire, jumping off airplanes and doing the most just to get y'all to tune in. You're never gonna see that, because that's not me. I gotta be true to who I am, and I am who I say I am. And if I wasn't, then right, why would I say I am? Lee on the bat line, HaPPy TV to y'all niggas. But with that being said, I do think it was like, I'm sure you can get her phone number, Kansas. Like, you got ways, you got people in high places, you got people in influential places where you can call her up, you can Zoom. You ain't even had to roll up on her. You can do a Zoom, you can do a Zoom call, you can probably get her on the phone, as opposed to, rolling up to a crib unexpectedly. And, again, she moving to a non-black neighborhood. Is that bad? Nah. Because I tell you, I hit the lotto, I hit one of these 12, 20 pick parlays for 100-some thousand, 200 million. I'm out of here too. Gone in the way. Like, you see me on passing, because the hood is fucked up. And like I often quote on the show, being funny, but I'm not, it's rough in the GHETTO. Niggas get tired of walking out their house and gotta step over shit, literally. Or come home from work and gotta tell niggas, excuse me, trying to get in the building and I'll pay rent. And niggas sitting on your car and niggas doing the most, standing outside. Let me get $5, let me get $1. And then we like, I don't got $1. They looking at you mad that you don't got $1 to give them. Like, motherfucker, you don't got $1. How the fuck is you mad at me that I'm not giving you $1? And I try to give charity as often as I could, to be honest. You know what I mean? Just a good water tonight. We're going to fast tomorrow, God willing. The hood is fucked up. And until we do more and be more active as men, because we men, ain't we? It's going to stay like that. But the thing is, she moved out the hood, and she in a rich neighborhood. Obviously, who the fuck is living in neighborhoods like that, except people that got millions of dollars, or money on the back end. And I get it, she's an author, she's an artist. I know she do shows and shit like that. But I just think if you just come out and get it out the way, be more transparent with what you're doing, and then on a side note, being funny, because she's obviously Miss Patrice, that is. She with the community, you know what I mean? And so when she like, you're not going to sway me away from my community, it's like, are you talking about the black community or are you talking about the LGBT community? It's like, all right, normally, when some intruders is popping up at your door or you hear a noise at the end of the night, you know what I mean, and you sleeping, who's getting up to go downstairs and get the bat or even get the burner? The man. So it's like, where's your wife at? Who's the dominant one in the relationship? Does that matter? I'm being funny, but I'm not. Shouldn't she go step to Candace like, yo, you want to talk to us? Like, you looking for my wife? Well, you can talk to me. I would have loved to see that dynamic, but I'm glad that it was a woman and not a man. Because can you imagine when you reverse it like a circle and don't be whipped by the pussy, you whip that? Well, yeah. Shout out to Witherspoon and Boomerang. You know what I mean? Great actor, great comedian. Don't be whipped by that. Reverse it like a circle. If it was a man doing that shit, rolled up to her, camera crew or no camera crew, woo, maybe people will probably be believing her and giving her more sympathy. I ain't gonna really give her no sympathy, only because, like I said, do I think some funds is allocated places it shouldn't have been, or they did some stuff with some money that they shouldn't have? Yes. Can I get up here and say, yeah, they did it for sure? I wouldn't get up here and like, yeah, they did it, because I can't prove it. And I think if you have allegations, you should be able to substantiate those said accusations instead of just getting up here saying shit flying out the mouth and talking out your neck and you don't know. But do I have suspicions? Yes. Also, on the flip side of that, do I think people that does the work of the community, of the public, should they get paid? Yes, they should. And I also find it funny that she wasn't scared of the police when you out talking about Black Lives Matter and, racist this and racist that, but you get on the internet and you looking mad scared of Candace Owens. I just thought that was wild, crazy, funny. What's your thoughts? Is she wrong? Do you want to see the receipts like everybody else? Or is Candace out of line for just showing up out of nowhere when she could have got her on the bat line? Like, let me talk to you, sis. Pull up. As they say, drop the addy. Let's get to this other shit. SunDaY, FunDaY. I had a good day. You know what I mean? Talk to all the people I love. Told the people that I love them. Not for Mother's Day, though, because I don't celebrate. But let's talk about Mother's Day in the sense of relationships. So y'all know I be running through these YouTube streets, running across these YouTube alleyways, and they should have never let me in the game. I'm just waiting for niggas to catch up. Catch up, damn, they fading them whole. How they gave him that? So I seen this post right here, dealing with Mother's Day. Where is that? I took a picture of it. Oh, actually, I didn't take a picture of it. It's right here. So a sister, apparently, she's asking a question to women and to men dealing with Mother's Day. If you're in a relationship, and the question is, she said, since nobody answered my question the first time, like I guess people was, you know what I mean, like crickets, you know what I mean, they was quiet in them streets. She like, is it okay for your boyfriend to buy his baby mama a gift for Mother's Day? You know what I mean? And I got 1,000 comments. And they was going in. You know what I mean? Before we even get to the comment, let me just say this, right? The thing is, when you're dealing with somebody that is, you know, have prior relationships and kids from now, whether you a man like myself, you deal with a baby mother, you know, a single mother, you decide to deal with them, you're gonna have to deal with the kid's father if he's around, if he's not in jail and he's trying to be active. Those bonds with the kids and all that never goes away. Obviously, if the kid is grown, then it may be to the lesser degree. And if they young and all that, and then you move in or they move in with you, you're gonna definitely have to hear about that. Same thing with a single woman dealing with a baby daddy, and the kids with him, or the kids come on the weekends, or however that goes. Normally, the kids is with the mother. That's just what it is for whatever reason. It's spent like men don't fight for their kids, but whatever the reasons is, most of the time, that's the facts. The kids are with the mother. So I say you got women, because this also goes to the point of the video I did where women is always at it with one another. They could talk that sister code shit, and a lot of them do stay sister code, even though under that shit, it's a lot of catting and scoring, and a lot of backstabbing, a lot of talking and chatty patty, a lot of jealousy, envy, and all that shit. But for the most part, they will stay like this for you to see. But under that shit, it's a lot. And you can see it even in the comments. Because some women is like, hell no, you ain't getting, if you with me, you know what I mean? You ain't getting your baby mother nothing. And some women are like, well, that's the kids. That's always going to be his baby mother. You know what I mean? And then some women is married to the guy. They're like, well, I married him. He had kids, or he had one kid, but I'm the wife. So I don't care if he gets something for his baby mother, because she always just going to be the baby mother. But I, like Beyonce, I got the bling blow. Like your wrist bling bling, my shit bling blow. So, like I said, it's 1,000 comments, and a lot of them was very interesting, in my opinion, because you watching my show, PopUp's TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, smash the notification bell, so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. If you're dealing with a lady, you know what I mean, and a new lady, and you had a baby mother, one, I don't celebrate, but for the fellas that do, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, now a lot of women in the comments was like, well, that's like a doorway open because they think you fucking anyway. You always hear like, and this is why, Kevin Samuels, other people in the red pill section, it's the red pill, blue pill. There's a war going on outside no man is safe from. You can run from these streets we took. Because it's that factor of the baby father always could get the buns. The baby mother always could get the D. There's always going to be them night calls or emergencies or, kids come first and you always second in line. So that's why the message is always, even I've done it twice, mess with, women that had kids. You know what I mean? And if you choose to do it, you do it. Some women are worthy of that. So that's why I don't subscribe, like, just because you got kids. That's why I said I agree with some and I don't agree with everything. Well, it's up to the individuals. What may work for me or for somebody else may not work for you. You just got to take the good and leave the rest. Some women are worthy, and then certain circumstances, you can't predict, or they don't bring those outcomes on themselves. But for the most part, if I have kids and nieces and nephews and stuff, I would say start your own family first. Try that route first, then go the other route. But anyway, I don't think it's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? Some people are respectable. They end their relationships, amicably. You know what I mean? Like, there was no "I hate your guts" and "I hate you so much right now," and like that song. If you ask, "Do I hate you?" I do, and that song is actually funny. You know what I mean? All relationships is not like that. They don't all end that way. Some people in the real life, not just on the internet, are actually adults. So you can say, yeah, I've been separated from my baby moms, but just because it's Mother's Day and I separate, I still want to show my son or my daughter that their mother is worthy. Obviously, you put a baby in her, you know what I mean? So you have to, look at it from that angle. But some women, obviously, like I said, under the sister code, is like, nah, negative. Because once you allow that, then you allow, he might could still be going back to hit it, or, the baby mother could always looking like, yeah, he got, especially if it's expensive gifts. And, the comments is extensive. It's a whole bunch. You can just go at random. It says, I think everyone should date whoever they want to date or deal with. Every man, every woman's situation is not the same. Some people can handle the situation. Some people can't. Do what's best for you. He absolutely right. No Christmas, no birthdays, no none of that shit. People was like, no, none of that shit. I think it's more appropriate to give the gift to the child. They share some money and let the kid pick out something for his or her father. I always found it odd that a child-free woman would even find a man with kids attractive as a mate. This whole war shit of no baby fathers, no baby mothers. And again, I'm not mad at her for saying that, because the fact is it's a lot more women that have kids than it is men that have kids. You know what I mean? And she like, call me selfish, but if I made it this far in life without procreating, then why can't I have, let me see if it's not too long, then why can't I have a man who also displays sexual discipline and responsibility? We as women are so forgiving when it comes to this topic, but men will crucify you for the same. You know what I mean? And maybe she's right. Just don't date men with kids and you won't have to worry about it. Same thing for men. Don't date women, that have kids from previous relationships. And that's pretty much what the red pill, talked about. But this is from a woman channel, one of those pink pills, and she be going hard on men. You know what I mean? Sometimes she get a little triggered, but you just gotta let it be. You know what I mean? What goes around comes around. Some people have good intentions, and some people don't have good intentions. See, that's what I judge off. You know what I mean? Like, you could be saying something, because some people obviously still in the light, in the wake of obviously, the proclaimed godfather of YouTube, Kevin Samuels, passing over this weekend. People was always, if they can't find no arguments against him, then it's like the tone, the delivery, the harshness. And I say, are you coming from a good place, or are you coming from a bad place? Because if you're coming from a good place, then that means your intentions is good. So it's easy more to swallow. You know what I mean? It's easy to digest and take, like, because I know my moms love me. I know, my father loved me. So when they do what they do and they chastise me, although it may sting, although it may hurt, ultimately, you know that they love you, so it's coming from a place of love. Whereas you go to a foster parent house, you're just getting there. And I'm using it because if you don't know it's coming from love, when you're being critiqued, when you're being scrutinized, when you're being looked at under the microscope, obviously you're going to take it, you're going to take it worse, and you're going to, get defensive, because it's like, yeah, you don't love me. You're just trying to put me down. You're just trying to shame me. You're just trying to hurt me. So, some of these channels, I don't know them personally, and I don't watch a lot of this shit. But, I do know that this is one of those channels that's against men, and it is what it is. But a lot of the women is preach that too. That's why when you read the comments, you see that. But it says, this is another one. As long as there are no feelings left between them. Like I was saying, if you are mature enough, and everybody's situation is different. If y'all no feelings at all, we just here for the kids, then it's fine. You know what I mean? But then again, if there's no feelings, then why are you being nice? Just keep it strictly on the kids. But the thing is, she like, if there's no feelings between them, I don't understand the harm. I mean, he respects the mother of his children, which you should respect the mother of your children, just like she should respect the father of her kids. You had the baby by the nigga. We don't want to hear he was a Pookie, he was a Ray Ray, you didn't know, because ultimately, again, once you skeet off, fellas, the decision making is out of your hands. That's just the facts. You could not like it, you could hate it, you can run from it, dread it. Destiny arrives all the same. It turns the legs to jelly, and you'll be sitting there with the sad face, sticker face saying, I know what it's like to lose, to feel so desperately that you was right, yet you failed. Once you come and she get pregnant, there's nothing you can do about it except the consequences. You could be a bad dad after that. You could choose to do fuckery shit, and you could resent her and all that. But the thing is, don't come in her. You know what I mean? Especially if she ain't get it the way Shorty tried to get Drake. She ain't take it out, put no holes in the condom or no fuck shit. If it was like you just was like, fuck it, it's feeling good, I'm not coming out, then that's on you if she decided to have the baby. But the point is, the parents, you should have respect for one another because y'all decided to procreate. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, it's no more, I won't say planning in the black community. I'm sure some people do plan to have kids, but you can't say no kids is really accidents now. Because it's contraceptions, you know what I mean? It's protection, it's birth control. You choose to have the kid, you know what I mean? If you're not on birth control and you having sex without protection, you're gonna get pregnant. It's only a matter of time. I don't care if you hanging from the ceiling or you only on top. Once it goes in, that's that. You're gonna, and that's you. You're gonna get pregnant. I'll read a few more. You know what I mean? I'm a married woman. Oh, this is the one where I read, so I'll read her joint. This is kind of long, not really. It says, I'm a married woman who has no biological children. My husband has a daughter from a previous relationship. He buys Mother's Day gifts for his mother and the mother of his daughter. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I am his wife. She highlighted wife in bold letters. That's the one up on you bitches. Yeah, like I'm a wife and y'all just, you know what I mean? You know how women do. This is a fact. We see it all the time. That's why I did a video on it. Go see the other video I did. And when I'm ready, it says no, and when I'm ready, we will have children. I guess when she ready. Maybe they not, you know what I mean? The gift doesn't symbolize romance. It represents respect. These conversations are so funny. I don't see it as a big deal, but I can respect other people's feelings and desires. I'm so happy to see black women taking a stance in regards to the type of men that they want. That part right there is like, since I've been running through these YouTube streets, and even in my own personal life, before I even got introduced to red pill and blue pill, pink pill, and all this bullshit, women been saying what type of niggas they want. I don't think that's not something new. I think men always have had what they want in their head, haven't always speaking out because we don't have a lot of platforms. Now we do. So they take them away until we build our own. That's why men definitely need their own media and production companies. And that's why I rock with some of the channels now, because you get to hear the barbershop talk magnified online now. You know what I mean? Not everybody is with good intent as well. Some people is hurt, broken, and they're just lashing out. But for the most part, you always hear women say, I want a tall nigga, I want a nigga with money, I want a nigga with no kids, I want a nigga with credit, can't be living in his mom's basement, gotta have a car, gotta have hair, gotta have hazel eyes, so when we have babies, like women been saying all this shit, so it's not like it's nothing new. That's why it burns the ears a little bit when you hear men now saying, oh yeah, my standards too is, I don't want a woman with kids. I don't want a woman that weigh more than me. I don't want a woman that's aggressive or gives off too much masculine energy. I'm the nigga. I don't need two niggas. I'm not Apache. It's not the 90s, and I don't want a gangster bitch. I don't. And I don't. That's me. I'm talking about that's you, but I'm saying that's me. But that's a lot of other men as well. And so now women is hearing these barbershop talks because you wouldn't hear it. Your man ain't going to tell you like if he with you. You know what I mean? Or he should be checking you. But unless you sitting there with your son or whatever getting his haircut, you wouldn't have heard this stuff previous years. But oh, now everybody got channels and Popovich TVs and all these channels. Now women are starting to hear it, and they just really don't like it. And I don't know why. Let me finish this last comment so we can get to some other shit. It says, I'm so happy to see black women, and she used black, obviously she black, taking a stance in regards to the type of men that they want. Good luck, ladies. Go and get your future husbands if you want to be married, because you do got to compete if you want to get chosen. Not to pick me, but you're going to have to show your worth. You know what I mean? Men already got to show they worth from the beginning, because women ain't even checking for them unless you got certain shit on, unless you got certain things in place already. Now, you know, if you a live nigga, you got charisma and style, and, you know, I'll just say one of my cousins, I won't say his name, you know what I mean? When we was kids coming up or whatever, he didn't have a lot, you know, as far as wealth and resources and shit. Was a bum ass nigga, to keep it a buck. So I ain't gonna say his name. But I love you though. But I learned a lot from him in regards of dealing with him. I seen him get a lot of buns. And even though he was older, he even helped me get some buns. You know what I mean? But I'm saying that to say, we see through women nature, if they like you, they like you. You don't have to have a lot of things. It's only the ones that they want to make jump through hooplas, and you got to jump through the ring of fire and do all this other bubblegum shit with somebody that they like or physically attracted to, or they just got the hots for. They're going to give up the buns without all that. Other people, you may got to go on dates. You may got to buy it. You may got to be on the phone all night, send a good morning, beautiful texts, and some other nigga going to get it without doing all that. And he showed me that as a kid, so I know that to be true. Not because I jumped on YouTube and I seen one of these videos. I seen that right live action on 142nd Street and all. You know what I mean? Let's get to this other stuff though. Let's get to this other shit. I don't got the quote here, but game. You know what I mean? And not talking about WhaT 100 and all that. That shit is still crazy shit crazy. Because since that shit popped off with the whole podcast, it's been spinning in the news, and it's only really being overshadowed now in a way, kind of, sort of, obviously, because, you know, Kevin Samuels passed and shit. But the game, I seen a quote from him online, one of these channels, and there was a quote of what he said. And the only reason why I want to bring it up, first, let me pull up this other shit that I wanted to bring up. You know what I mean? So the game is like, you know, unfortunately, when it comes to loyalty, you got to test niggas. And he said, this is how you test loyalty. This is how he tests loyalty. So this is why I want to bring it up. Because, you know, on my channel over here, we deal with sports, hip-hop, motivation, Poppavisms 101, interviews sometimes. And this is some motivation, you know what I mean? And Poppavisms 101 mixed together. So he said, you know, he's gang, so maybe some of his thinking, and I wish I could find the post, because in the comments, I wanted to read some of the comments. But I forget what page I seen it on. But anyway, he said this is how he tests his loyalty, like loyalty. You know what I mean? Kendrick Lamar. He like, you take 5 friends, or, you know what I mean, whoever, your circle of people, and you give them 5 different stories. And the one that comes back to you, or the one that gets back to you, that's how you know, people is not loyal, or they talking about you, or they doing whatever. And, you know, when I read it, I'm like, sound like a Sun Tzu, Art of War type shit. And then I'm like, all right, well, he is in the gang, and, a lot of niggas be jockeying for position. He is a celebrity, you know what I mean? He been famous for a while, since being on Change Your Heart, or whatever that shit was, when he had the heart on his face, shaved it off, put the 5-star or whatever on his face, you know what I mean? And I don't got no tats, you know what I mean? He been famous for a while, you know what I mean? So people do jock for position. People do have interior motives. People do fuck shit. Let's just call it what it is. Especially when you got money. Because that's your money, son. Right, that's your money. And in order to get some of that money, or to get in good graces, people will put on 2 faces. They will do certain things. But I'll say for me, because it's like, damn, number one, you got to be a good liar now. Like, who the fuck is remembering who you told what? So it's like, yeah, I'm going to tell, you know what I mean, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. If I like the girl, who cares? So you told Ronnie something, you told Bobby another thing, Ricky something else, and Julio, how the fuck you going to remember that shit? You drinking, you smoking, you hip-hopping, and niggas is, you know what I mean? Like, stories is going to get mixed up. Sooner or later, you're not going to remember, even if you got a, what's the word? One of them photographic memories, like some LeBron James, one day after the press conference when he came out and he did the whole sequence, and the reporters was amazed, and they're like, that's why he's so smart. His IQ is because he got a photo, graphic memory of the court and the plays. And I'm being funny, but I just wanted to point that out. No matter how good your memory is and all that, to me, it's just games, and no pun intended. It's just a game. This is how you tell, you be who you are. You watch people character. You watch people moral compass. You watch how people, when they doing well, and you watch how they do when adversity comes. You watch how they treat you. You watch how they treat others. You watch, you watch what they do. not so much what they say. Because on Monday you telling this person this, on Tuesday you telling them that. You may hear 2, 3 different stories. It may come back to you. We know, and I think of when you was in school, you know what I mean? And the teacher, tell you something, the bird flew south. And you got to go around a circle, and by the time it come, that's why we shouldn't be spreading rumors and quick to run these channels, and everybody got a platform because you got an iPhone 13, you know what I mean, or you on the Galaxy 15, and giving out these stories and saying shit that's not true. Because once it comes back around, like a circle, it's wrong. The story is fucked up. But I said, if you got to go through all that for loyalty, then you don't need no friends. You know what I mean? Like, I got 3 friends. I mean, I got associates and people I knew since we was one, and you call them day one. But it's really about like 3 or 4 friends or people that's like my brothers since we was young. And then a lot of people you grow apart from. Just to the mere fact that you're grown. And I'll give an example. I remember when I first came home and shit, 04, you know what I mean, after doing, time or whatever. Y'all know I'm not an angel on the channel. And we used to hang out and do a lot of stuff. I was being savage, working at the tax place that I was telling y'all about. This 2005, 2006, 2007, when I was working at the tax place. And some of my homies, they was living a single life. You know what I mean? Single ladies, clap your hands. And clapping a lot of cheeks, booty clapping sounds everywhere. But one of my homies got married, you know what I mean? Before I ended up getting married. I got married as well. And then I got divorced, fell in that statistical category. But when he got married, a lot of friends took a lot of the ways that he dealt with us after he got married wrongly, or like was looking at him with the side eye, like, you know what I mean? I was about to say his name, but I'm not. Because he was like, nah, I can't hang out no more, or he didn't hang out as much, or his wife used to always be like, what y'all doing? Because she knew what it was. Like how Tupac said, I hope your wife knows she got a player for life, and that's no bullshit. So women see the friends you hang with, and you say, show me who your friends is, and I'm going to show you who you are, or I'm going to tell you who you are, because birds of a feather flock together. And although it is some, exceptions to the rules, most of the times that shit is true. That's why these sayings and these old folk tales and the way we, categorize or pigeon-toe people in the same boxes, the stuff is true. If you got a whole bunch of single chicks and y'all all for the streets, you may have one that's not for the streets, so she ain't convert yet, but the chances are she probably will. And again, it's exceptions to the rule. So she knew what it was. She knew who he was, and she knows some of the joints we was rocking with. So even though she chose to marry him, in the back of her mind is like, damn, you hanging with them again, or you want to hang out? And so to please his wife and to keep his marriage the way it was, even though they ended up getting divorced as well, unfortunately. You know what I mean? It's like happy wife, happy life. It's never happy husband, happy life. You know what I mean? And we know in the red pill, they teach that that's bullshit. But anyway, she used to always have something to say. And so for a long time, he just fell back. We would go out to the strip clubs or go out to regular parties, go downtown, do some of the same shit we was doing, especially me after just coming home. It's like, oh, I'm out in these streets for the streets and having a good old time. Like, come on, baby, having fun. Scorpios be the best. October's on. He fell all the way back, and a lot of the homies didn't really like it. They started looking at him like, nah, fuck that nigga. He always, you know what I mean, like he can't come out, and his wife got his balls, and used to talk down on him because that's some of the dynamics that happen. But I brought that up to say, you lose friends and people that you hung out with and you did whatever y'all did with when you was young because you outgrow it. It's like, all right, how much hookah, weed smoking, and driving around chasing bitches can I do? Eventually, I got to raise my kids if you have them, or eventually, you just outgrow the shit. So it's like, and you can't expect just because you outgrown it that everybody going to get on your level. That's why a lot of times when you see in business, especially successful people, and success is on a lot of different levels, everybody don't grow the same. It's like, when you first, turn Christian, like for some people that's born again, or you Muslim. Like for instance, the Menace to Society movie, when I forget what his name was either Hakeem or Abdullah. He was a gangbanger, but then he converted Muslim. Like, you know what I mean? Like Pac said, you went to jail or you turned Muslim. You know what I mean? Like a lot of brothers do when they try to change their life and they try to just do something different and elevate. No shame on y'all. Keep elevating, keep trying to do it. Even if you fall back, keep continuing to strive, because that's what it's all about, the journey. But in that movie, Even though he was hanging with them, you know, you got to watch the movie a few times. Like I was talking about The Color Purple the other day. When you watch it, you first say, damn, if you were this way, why are you still hanging with these, you know, these gangbangers shooting, these niggas smoking weed, try to pass it to them? And you're like, nah, man, I don't eat it. They was at the cookout, they trying to pass them pork. And you're like, nah, man, I don't do all that. The point is when you convert to something or you stumble across a multi-level marketing, you know, and you think you're going to get rich, you want to bring the people in that you know. When you start something new, you want to bring people along. You want to show them what you discovered. You know what I mean? And some people may be receptive and some people may not. And don't take it personal, because the same way you found, you know, the strength and you was guided the way you're being guided now, they may be or they may not be. You know what I mean? But it's levels and it's different timing. And like Fabulous said, you know, perfect timing is not always perfect timing or when you want. You know what I mean? Sometimes it comes when you least expect it. So you got to be patient. But while you're being patient, you don't got to stay with the pack. Continue to grow and elevate and keep going higher. And if people don't want to come with you, oh well. And again, when you hear successful people, they say, yo, man, I had to leave the smoking alone. I had to leave the, you know, certain things alone because it was taken away from my performance. It was stopping me from doing this. I stopped watching TV as much, started reading more, or I stopped watching more celebrity junk and celebrity gossip, and I started getting into more of this, spending more time. That takes sacrifice. And some people are going to be mad if you wasn't sacrificing before. It's like, now, why are you doing that shit now? It's like, yo, I'm 35 now, dog. I'm 38 now. I'm 40 now. My son 15. I got to spend more time with him so I can shape and mold him, make sure he's not out here doing no fuck shit. You know what I mean? And so that's just the thing with that. When it comes to friends, if you got to tell 5, 8 different stories just to see if they're loyal to you, and you might want to find some new friends. You might want to not even have no friends. You know what I mean? I just feel like you judge people. I say this, like in the Islamic religion, it's like the best amongst the people is the people that strive for righteousness the most. Like it's a race towards doing good. So that's how you judge. Again, off intentions. You may do something that's bad, but your intentions wasn't to do bad. It's like, oh, I did this, but that wasn't my intention. So it could be accepted a little more when you apologize, as opposed to when you doing it intentionally. Like, oh no, I'm trying to give them the business. I'm trying to definitely break up this home, or whatever it is. Then it's like when you apologize, if you do decide to apologize, people may be like, nah, I can't accept the apology because I know you coming from a negative, bad place. So again, when you judging friends and loyalties, to me, it's easy to judge that. You just gotta look at one. You can't really look at what people was telling you. You gotta look at what they showing you. You know what I mean? Is from the rip, are they a good person? Is they energy good? Is they aura good? Well, and I give you like this, and you know how these some people, they don't even gotta say a word when you walk into a room or you get in close circumference of somebody, and you can sense that something is off. Everybody got that in us because we're spirits, and this is just the body. We got souls in us, and our souls can pick up on unseen things. And the more you get in tune with that, it's easier. It becomes easier. And I'm only saying that to say, because people always say, and some of them, a lot of them are right. I'm one of them as well. I'm a good judge of character. I'm a good judge. I can judge. And so people, and I mentioned that before I get out of here. I'm going to mention these last quick things. See a lot of that online where people is like, with the Kevin Samuels, obviously, again, it's got the internet trending, and I don't think it's going to stop. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to stop. I think the message is going to keep going, fortunately, and unfortunately for those that don't want to hear it. When you hear people online like, yeah, I could just sense something was off with him. You could just, I can feel it. I'm a good judge of character. Are you really? And in that sense, it's no judgment. But I'm talking about when you meet people in person, not online, because online should be what you see is what you get, and what you getting is your ass kicked. That's a Red Man reference. I'm all the way authentic, but I'm not always like this outside and got that energy. I am who I am, and we have different sides to us. But some people do have a caricature side of themselves, or they become like a persona on TV, online. Then when you meet them, and I give the example of Stephen A., who I met in person. Yeah, on TV, he's an unmitigated gall and this and that, and you see him and what? And he's real animated. But when I met him in Houston All-Star Weekend, he wasn't like that. In fact, He was speaking, using nigga and talking and cursing. And like I said, for those that seen that video real quickly, in my head at the time while we was standing in the lobby, I'm saying, damn, I watch this nigga every day or damn near every day. To hear him now talking, I'm processing it. I'm like, because he don't sound nothing like how he is on TV. Then he didn't look like how he look on TV. Obviously, they put all that makeup on you with the lights, and his skin wasn't that good, and he's taller than me. So I'm looking at him, and like I said, we had that little exchange, and he was mad cool. So shade on him when I met him, you know what I mean? He's not the same on TV. Persona. Then it's another, so to drive my point home some more, he's on the podcast, I think I'm more than the athlete or the pivot podcast. And he was talking about how, you'll never see his woman he's with. The woman he's with, they don't show no public affection. And he was talking to the fellas. He wasn't on First Take. He wasn't on ESPN. So that's more of the Stephen A. that I seen, how he was talking to them. He got the sweater on. And he talking regular shit. And you can see like, oh, this nigga is from Queens, from New York. You know what I mean? You can see the different dynamic as opposed to when he's on the show, he's very professional-like, and he's sitting there looking until we get into his shit, he's different. But the point is, you might could tell a little bit how a person is on camera, but it's way different when you meet them in person and you're in the same room as them. You can observe them differently. You can pick up on the energy and the vibes that I was talking about. And so I say that to say, when you get into a room with somebody that you never met before, you can tell if the vibes is off. If they give you those, oh, I'm definitely ain't going to be over here standing with them. I'm going to go over here. Your spirit is telling you, you know what I mean? Like, go over here. Don't stand with the, like, after the introduction is made, and you shake a nigga hand and shake my hand, make sure it's a firm shake, say what's up, Ice Cube, and then break. Because if you standing there, I'm going to tell you loud and clear, get off my dick, nigga, and tell your bitch to come in. It's an Ice Cube reference. Shake my hand after the pleasantries. You could see, like, you know what I mean? And then you leave. And as a person that been in a lot of business meetings, when I was in Primerica and World Ventures, stuff like that, where, you travel and you have meetings, you have, weekly get-togethers and a whole bunch of people game planning and working on the business to try to build. You meet a lot of people. You have to be social. That's why I understand when Kevin was doing one of his shows, like, a lot of people in this era, because of the phone, you don't have no social skills. You don't know how to work a room. You don't know how to move in a room full of vultures. Or, that's a whole line. But you don't know how to move. You don't know how to, kick it, you know what I mean, and be social. You're awkward. You get your drink and, you know what I mean, you can't make introductions. You can't do certain things. But this is the last thing that I want to talk about, being how I mentioned Kevin Samuel a few times in today's show. And rest in peace again. You know what I mean? May Allah have mercy. And this is the thing right here. I told y'all in a few videos that my man Critical, a.k.a. Bashir, because he was a Muslim brother. May Allah have mercy on him as well. Died in prison, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Police beat him up. Just for the backstory, he had 8 1/3, 20 to life for a body. Brooklyn. His real name is Ricky Simmons. You know what I mean? And he was a rapper, the best rapper I ever heard. Dead or alive, still to this day. Best rapper by far. And there's a lot of nice rappers out there, you know what I mean? But he's unheard of. So that's why I got Nas and Hov, you know what I mean? The list of who's your top 5, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. But anyway, police had beat him up, you know what I mean? And caused a blood clot in his body that he didn't know. And the blood clot, after months turned bad, and finally he developed cancer in his body. And then finally when you go to sick call, they just give you Advil. For the nigga, quick side note, because we got a little time left, niggas that shooting up and is okay at the OK Corral, when you get knocked, this is some of the stuff that happened. You could be bleeding in your head. They're going to give you some ibuprofen. You know what I mean? So all you're going to get. You're not going to get nothing else. You know what I mean? It's going to take a long time for you to get cleared to go to an outside facility unless you really just getting stabbed up or bleeding out. And I haven't been in prison in a while, but I'm still on the phone. I just had K.O. Smitty call me today talking about shit. But anyway, he didn't know. And that's why also, too, you got to get checked out because obviously Kevin, cardiac arrest and his health and all that. Black men, we don't be wanting to go to the doctor for a lot of reasons. Some valid, some not valid. But anyway, sometime he used to pee blood. This is how he found out. Critical, that's what I'm talking about. His name was Critical, a.k.a. Critical. And again, he was the best rapper that I've ever heard, dead or alive. Ricky Simmons, a.k.a. Bashir. Rest in peace. He was like, we was brothers. We used to always kick and he used to always, every day, new rhymes, new concepts, new shit. Wanted to battle Hov, wanted to battle a lot of people, you know what I mean? And one day he was like, yo, I can tell you something. I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, yo, you ever pee blood? You know what I mean? And I was like, huh? And he was like, yeah, last 2-3 days, you know what I mean? I was peeing a little blood when I pee. And I'm like, word, damn it, man, you got to go to sick call. And he like, you think it could be because I'm, you know what I mean, jacking off too much? And I'm like, I don't know. I said, obviously when you're in prison, I've done it too. I said, that never happened to me though before. And he was young. Then critical, when he passed away, I think he was, I'm going to say 27 or 28. I'm going to say no older than 28. Young, you know what I mean? Fresh starting out his 8 1/3, 25. I think he had 3 years in, you know what I mean? And I met him in Comstock. And then we end up in Bear Hill together a couple of years later. But anyway, I'm like, nah, you should go to sick call, you know what I mean? And he went to sick call and come to find out that the blood clot turned cancerous. It spread through his whole body and even got in his brain. So it was like really, when he came back, he was mad skinny. I ain't recognize him. And I just felt so bad. And he was like, you know what I mean? I got to go back out to the hospital in a few days. I don't even know why they brought him back to the facility. I forget why. But he like, if I don't make it, pray for me and woo woo. And he left and he never came back. You know what I mean? But anyway, his rhyme and one of his rhymes, that's why I brought him up. And I just wanted to share that because that's my brother and I miss him. And again, man, Allah have mercy. The way he died is messed up. Police beat him up like they do a lot of niggas when they try to be scared. You think you tough, but a lot of niggas are scared of police. They're not going to fight back. And so, you just shrug it off. Like, they beat me, cool. You know what I mean? But they caused the blood clot. So that's why I ended up being detrimental to him. But anyway, he had this rhyme right here. And I don't remember all of it, but I remember this. Because there's a lot of stuff I don't remember from him, even though I still think he's the best. He was like, your house lead to all streets, and all streets lead to your house. So when you talk, you should watch your mouth. What does this have to do with anything? This has to do with people online, celebrating, happy, and watching what they say about Kevin Samuels and about whoever you want to talk about. Because you can do what you want to do. As I said in my first video, words is power. When you throw it into the universe is alive. That's how you're able to breathe, because the universe is alive. If it wasn't, we all be dead. And when that happens, we all going to be out of here. Stuff has a way of coming back around. People like karma, Kevin did his karma, that's why I came back. But I'll also say this is why I'm bringing this up, because I sing on another channel. As I said, I be running through these YouTube streets, right, run across these YouTube alleyways, and they should have never. Somebody was saying, when you on these platforms, like Populous TV, you don't see who's watching you. When you got the TaLkinGs and the Kevins, millions of people following you. Like when you're an entertainer, you're famous now. And I'm struggling over here. But the point is, just like the teacher, we all know who the teacher is, but it takes time for the teacher to learn all of her students. You know what I mean? Or all of his students. Same thing on the internet. You don't know who's watching you. Fake accounts, this and that. They only know you. You don't know who's viewing you. And I'm saying that to say this. When you get on these channels and these platforms, and even when you make these comments, like I said on YouTube, you can see all the comments anybody ever made. And you might see a few of mine. When I get popping, like, this nigga was on these channels talking shit, leaving comments and shit. You never know how people feel about that. And I'm not advocating violence, even though I got to pass the violence being done to me and doing back to others. I'm not going to just be nobody punching back, fighting back. People could get a little overzealous, and Bill O'Reilly, you only rally me up. Be careful, people, because, like the subway train shooter and Ferguson and James Frank, and it's a lot of weirdos out here. And people do follow people to a fault as a cult, dare I say. And people got family as well. So you could be out and about doing what you're doing, not really realizing that you was just talking shit in the safety of your own house. And once you stepped out that house, you stepped into a universe where people could come knock on your door. Like Kansas pulling up, it won't be Kansas. You can be in the mall. You could be shopping at Radio Shack or eating in Applebee's. And somebody be like, yeah, such and such was my family. And I've seen the comment that you made. Or you wish they was dead, or you glad that they dead. And then now you on World Star getting beat the fuck up, getting stabbed the fuck up, getting shot the fuck up. And it's like, oh, wow. I ain't expect this. I was just talking shit. I was just drinking a little bit, and this is water. I was just smoking a little poison and, entertaining the people. Be careful what you say, people. Be more respectful. Be more courteous. Be more mindful. And lastly, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. Because, oh, by the way, it's a vast, big world out there. And you're not the only tough guy. Like John Gotti once said, everybody's a gangster until a real gangster walks in the room. Then you're not so gangster no more. You don't got all those words no more. You're not as tough as you think you are. And like Hall said, you know what I mean? There's only so long fake thugs can pretend. Nigga gonna pull your coat and see if you really about that life. Women included. Like LL said, I don't give a fuck. He said, I don't give a fuck, boo. Like, you know what I mean? I crush Ice-T and Mo D's girl. But still, niggas want to instigate shit. I battle any nigga in the rap game quick. Name the spot. I make it hot for you bitches. Female rappers too. I don't give a fuck, boo. It can happen to anybody in any barrel. They got my brain on scramble. No choice in this jungle but to be an animal. It can happen to you. So you should be respectful because people got family, people got friends, people got followers that may follow and take messages a little extreme. And then all of a sudden, like, and I'm only bringing this up too because I seen on this the channel I was showing y'all, the Paris Milani, that's her name, or Paris Milan. She was putting up, she got a video of, she was doing a story of a young girl, unfortunately, who's 21 now, but when she was 13, when you reverse it, time stone, and send it back in time, when she was 13, she got pregnant by her mother's husband, not her father, her mother's husband. And he was abusing her, she said, since 8 years old. And this is what I was just talking about yesterday on the show as well, with the little kids on TikTok dancing to the challenges, shaking their ass. It's a lot of predators out here, a lot of fucking weirdos, men and women. It's not just men, it's women too now, unfortunately. It would be easy to just say, yeah, it's just men, so we can have a smaller group of people to look at. But it's vast and it's wide. The point of it is this. In her title, she had Kevin Samuels' follower, husband, impregnates 13-year-old girl. So I guess the mother was a follower of Kevin Samuels. And so I guess because she was a follower, she allowed this shit to go on. This is what people say on the internet. You know what I mean? And people, and obviously the story is all the way fucked up. She's 21, and I watched the whole video because I was intrigued by it, and also I was saddened by it and saying, damn, this is why we got to protect the kids. Because in my opinion, and for what it's worth, it's not black women that's the most unprotected. It's definitely not the men, so I would never say that. It's the kids. The kids are the ones that get the bad end of the stick almost all of the time. Almost all of the time. And it's fucked up because we need to do better. But again, he's in jail. Hopefully they give him all the time that he needs to get. And she's, you know, her daughter's 7. She's 21. And she's pregnant again with her boyfriend. And it's like, you know, pray for her, you know, obviously the psychological, the emotional scars, you know, positive energy, and you don't even know how she'll pull through and be productive. And, you know, just my side note, maybe shouldn't be saying it now, or getting pregnant again so fast. You know, you're 21, obviously you got a baby from, you know, your mom's husband. It's just some real sick shit. I don't think she should have got pregnant and carry again, but obviously she do. She's about to give birth again, so she's going to have 2 kids. But the story is wild. The story is crazy. When you look at him, they got 3 boys together, and then she was the girl. It's unfortunate. The mother had came online and was saying some wild shit. And again, I didn't really want to talk about all that. Time is ticking along. But the thing is, again, we got to be mindful of what we saying online. And I only pointed that out to say, you see how she's painting that this is a follower, and then they try to paint the train shooter as a Kevin Samuels follower and Hassan Campbell. So this is what they do when they follow, and it is right. Sometimes people do follow people like it's a cult, and Jim Jones, and take the kids to the mountains, and everybody drinks cyanide, kill everybody. Dr. York, Brooklyn. Yeah, we in religion, but I gotta fuck your wife first before you fuck her. There's sick people out here, and they do sick, twisted, crazy things. That's a fact. And I'm never gonna condone or justify any of that, because that's not who I am. I'm against those type of things. And I think all men should be. And we should protect those that need protection. And in the good book, you know, Allah says the men are the maintainers and protectors of the women and children. So that's what I subscribe to. I'm not perfect, but the things I can control and the things that I work on, I go hard with the stuff that I can do. the easy things. And the stuff that's hard, I'm a work in progress like everybody else. But the men are the maintainers and protectors of the women, and that's egregious. And obviously he wasn't protecting; he was being a predator. But my point, back to critical, when you know what I mean, all your house lead to all streets, and all streets lead to your house. So when you talk, you should watch your mouth. That lady that posted up about Kevin Samuels, when you posting about people being dead and all that, don't think they don't got followers that may be a little crazy, a little deranged, or if they just got family that just like, yo, you know what? When I see one of these people that was talking shit, no matter where they at, it's on sight. It's people like that. And like, again, you may be in Applebee's or an OK Corral getting your little ice cream, you know what I mean? And somebody come bust you right in your fucking head and you turn around like, oh, and nigga like, yeah, this, you know what I mean? You was talking about my family, or you was happy that my cousin died, or you was talking shit about my baby girl or whatever. So we need to be mindful of that. And that's all I got for y'all tonight. You know what I mean? Sunday night, Sunday fun day. Shout out to everybody that was tuning in. But you know what it is. Y'all was just tuned in. HaPPy. HaPPy TV, that's my show. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here, one more again. Yeah, kid.